Hey, this is Notser, and we are in the Tier 9 German cruiser Roon. It has 9 203mm guns, 12 torpedoes, 62 AA guns, a surface detect of 11.1 kilometer, top speed 32.5 knots, total 49,500. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase main battery accuracy, rate of fire, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, faster turret traverse, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment again. We are on the map Shatter, and what can I say? I've been trying to get a good game in my German cruisers, and maybe it is. I had to move forward though and do the capture for my team because the destroyer refused to play the objective. He went right to the edge of the map, trying to get torpedoes on the enemy. Now we see an enemy Atlanta, and he's showing a perfect broadside, so we're going to unload our AP in the Atlanta, and we let him a little bit too much. But we're able to destroy one of his main guns and do very mediocre damage. Now I adjusted a little bit, and he adjusts as well. There we go. A citadel, 9,400 points of damage. He has to avoid the torpedoes, and I don't want to run into an island. That would be bad. And I'm just trying to get a broadside. Maybe he's turning back. The Atlanta doesn't really have a lot of armor. Yes, it doesn't have a lot of armor, and it's finished off from a friendly. Boy, where are all my friendlies? It seems like in every single high tier game, I'm the one who's pushing, no matter what class of ship I'm in. It's just so awkward. It really is. When destroyers don't go for objectives, they try and get out to the edge of the map just to get a first strike capability. It's not worth your time doing that. And I didn't run into a destroyer. I was able to freely capture this. If you're someone who doesn't want to fight a destroyer, you can just leave the area. That is an option. But to make cruisers go after objectives, I just completely disagree with that philosophy. And we're taking fire from North Carolina. There was a destroyer in front of me. I believe it's a Benson. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's a U.S. destroyer. So, we've got C, of course. Teammates are pushing forward. Perhaps, maybe they're feigning it forward and they're going to turn back around. They're just hoping that someone else will go forward for their team. I am considering going towards B. It's not particularly a good target for me, but nobody else is willing to do it. We've got a destroyer in the western side of the map who is preoccupied. He can't afford to do anything like that. The enemy is in the process of capturing A, so we're not going to have an advantage. We need to get it. Now, the German cruisers, of course, specialize with AP. It's pretty obvious when you play it. You're looking for broadside shots on anything, and when you don't get an opportunity to shoot at a ship broadside with AP in the German cruiser line, it feels very mediocre. The detection is subpar. 11.1 kilometers with everything. That's the absolute best you could possibly expect in the German cruiser and the Roon. And I don't really like that. That's still really crappy. I get close to targets. I can't really ambush them. I've actually tried to play the Zhao and the Des Moines a lot. And this is just a larger rant about Tier 10. Now, we received a discount. And I'm engaging the Baltimore, doing no damage, of course, because he's got great angling. I just, Tier 10 just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I was playing a couple hours, and I was trying to get a Montana game. Well, that's not going to happen. You need very special circumstances in order to succeed, and we just weren't getting them. The AA isn't strong enough to justify the weakness that the Montana is in relation to the Yamato, and it's just so debilitating. Game after game after game. Let's go to our base and not leave the area. Both sides wait like 10 minutes and then they push. And most likely your destroyers have lost because they choose really dumb attack paths. And you're in a hole, which just gets bigger and bigger and bigger because the enemy is now assaulting you. So we are almost at B. And I don't want to go into B. The enemy team has full control over the western side of the map. I don't know what to expect. We've got to do something for our team. Now, we do have an advantage. However, that's a very small advantage. I would like to get a larger advantage. Force the enemy team to overextend. The team in the west is a little bit too far away. It looks like the Tirpitz division has chosen to push as a team, and divisions will give you a huge advantage over the rest of the game mode. This enemy Atago is seemingly pushing towards B, and I'm switching to AP preemptively. The reload is so small, I might as well have the perfect ammo type. I'm not really going to get another opportunity to ambush a target, so I want to have the ammo that counts. We're also going to send our torpedoes, and I felt like the indicator was telling me one thing. He might come towards the cap and stall. That's not what he does. We get a good side-on shot. We miss the waterline just barely. And he still has a pretty broad ship, so we try again, and there we go. 17,000 points of damage. We also incapacitate his propulsion, which he uses damage control to repair. There's no fire on the smokestacks anymore. That's the clear sign for those who, hey, how do you know that? That's the sign. But we've got to give ground. He has torpedoes, and we don't know where the enemy team is. It looks like another ship is incoming to assist them. It's a Tirpitz. It's just not good. My team is way too spread out. There's too many at the far north. There's too many at the far east. We can't help each other. The enemy team just has better positioning, and you can't say it any other way. We have poor decision-making, poor strategy, and part of that came from people trying to follow the destroyer that went all the way to the edge of the map. One bad decision will cascade off each other, and that's just not fun. Now, the Tirpitz, he feels the threat. He doesn't want to come through that threshold. I didn't want to show too much on my side. I'm probably not going to get the torpedoes, but I'd rather send them just in case. And now he's interested in moving again. I don't know what's the tell, but he's going to come through. We're going to try and get some AP at the waterline. I have a heal that I should be using. I don't know why I was holding on to it, but you know what? It's fine now. There he is. Okay. Somehow he sees me before I see him. Okay. Well, we do absolutely no damage. He had slight angling, and we hit a lot of turret. But the torpedoes look to be on target, and somehow he penetrates my armor with 2 citadels. Even though we have great angling against him, you can just see how neutral we were, and I have to angle against the enemy Tirpitz on the other side. Since he's so low, I might as well engage him. It's not my kill, but we need to get every target dead that we can. We've lost the friendly in the northwest side of the map. That friendly cruiser is the only one left, holding back the onslaught of the enemy team, and we're just missing ever so slightly. And the eastern side of the map, still very sluggish, not really pushing that hard. Honestly, a lot of them don't care that there are battleships in the center of the map, and I don't like that. We are so close to killing this Tirpitz, though, and he's using his heal, and I'm missing with my shots. Of course, it's not an easy shot, and I'm mindful of that Tirpitz behind me. He's already done way too much damage. I don't know how he did that much damage, but I'm trying to be 100% neutral. Absolutely no angling, unless, of course, he's going to choose to engage the York. If he chooses to, I'll be ready. And he's going to take a torpedo attack. This torpedo attack probably not going to do significant damage. Maybe 1, if that. Yeah, absolutely no damage. But he does set up a perfect broadside for me and the York to exploit. And the York possibly could send his torpedoes as well. Now, did you notice a little flash of a destroyer right behind him? Yeah, there it is, the Benson. Oh, crap. The York just got taken out. It's just my luck. Now, why did I send it back? I felt like the Tirpitz is going to turn back and sort of meet up with his teammates. So I'm trying to predict that he is not interested in continuing forward, taking significant damage from my team. He should be trying to link up and use that front against me and my teammate. We just have a disadvantage. The numbers are not in our favor, and the teammates that tried to push the eastern side of the map, they've been extremely slow and ineffective. There's no other way to say it. If you're going to do a play that requires you be out of the fight for an extended period of time, you've got to make something. Oh, that's nice. That was a good shot. He's still trying to rotate his turrets. He's just too busy trying to turn, avoid all these torpedoes, avoid incoming rounds, and it's working to my favor. However, I've got a enemy cruiser and another enemy battleship close by. That friendly cruiser's pretty brave, and he probably took a significant amount of damage. He died as well. Are you kidding me? What are these people doing? They're just making dumb plays, one after the other. Now, I switched to HE because I honestly felt like he was going to die, and I needed to go after that destroyer, but it didn't work out. And of course, the destroyer comes right in front of him, blocks line of sight to engage him. He can now turn his turrets, get a good angle for his ship to avoid the incoming rounds, and pretty much dictate the engagement. And I believe he tried to fire, but it was unsuccessful, thankfully. We're going to try and return fire. And look, the closest ship to my position that's friendly is 18 kilometers away. And it's an aircraft carrier. Where are my allies? There are 3 friendly ships. What are they doing? It looks like we're making progress though on the turrets. He has been burning for a long time. He tries to fire with his front guns. He puts out the fire. Can we kill him? No. AP just ricochets harmlessly off his ship. The Atago fires. The enemy turrets that's in the background also fires on a position. The Benson is sailing in front of him. The only good thing is the aircraft carrier is keeping these targets scouted if I was unable to see them. And finally, we kill off that turrets. And honestly, I'm not feeling very happy about that. I worked way too hard for that kill. I didn't receive enough backup. We're still in the process of trying to work down the enemy. The Atago went straight for the smoke. And he's showing a perfect broadside, so we're going to obviously fire on his position. There's still the turrets out there, and he's going to try and engage us whenever he gets an opportunity. The Atago is able to avoid the incoming rounds completely, and it possibly has changed his direction, and thankfully we are able to avoid the dispersion of the guns. It wasn't anything on us. So we engage the Atago. I'm hoping that he'll show a broadside so we can just end this right now, and I see that he has a full broadside. We fire at the waterline, and we're looking for any citadel. No citadel. And every second he is alive is a second that I might die, and it's more damage I'm taking. I'm still trying my best to avoid as much damage, and he gets 7k with that shot. Are you kidding me? Come on, I want him dead so bad, and I'm just trying my best. Now, I really should just use the 2 back guns. I really should just use the 2 back guns. Anytime he's willing to show all of his guns, it's an advantage to me, because I have majority. There we go, finally. The majority of my guns in the back. The enemy turret fires on a position. I use my hydroacoustic in preparation for Benson torpedoes. I'm trying to defend the base as he's in the process of capturing it right now. I also switched to HE, and he's going to go behind the island. The aircraft carriers kept him scouted the entire time. Yet, he hasn't taken any shots from the teammates. Okay, more damage that we can't afford. And probably the most frustrating thing about this, we have been engaged actively with multiple targets. They have obviously wanted to advance on our position. However, our teammates have not taken any advantage with sandwiching the target, forcing them to have good angling against multiple ships. They haven't really done any of that. Now, the friendly aircraft carrier appears to be bombing the Benson. Unfortunately, the Benson is able to capture the base. Now, without having bases for basically the whole game, we still have an advantage. We just need to get this Benson killed. We need to capture some bases. And I fire, and I let him a little bit too much. I didn't expect that he would turn back. He's not taking any damage from the dive bomber. Come on, HE. Alright. That's about as good as I could expect from the German cruiser. He probably should be around 1500, give or take, if that salvo that I first shot at him was successful. Now, it looks like he just wants to stall me out. The turret is going to engage me the entire time. He's within the detection if I fire. I choose to hold my fire, but of course he gets a shot off, and I send out my torpedoes, maybe predicting the Benson, and he gets one random shell to citadel me and take me out at the front of my ship. Now, I really appreciated the aircraft carrier. He was the one person that tried to help me out. But he probably would have had more success going after the turrets. Really looking back on it? Oh wow, we were able to torpedo the Benson. Man, what are these guys doing down here? They're just wasting time. These guys, they want you to be away from the objective. They're completely happy with you trying to take them out. They really are. This is the best strategy for the enemy team. There's just no excuse for this. Friendly battleship captured B, which is great. The enemy turret is still up, and this North Carolina is going to take 2 torpedoes, I believe. At least 1. And it does significant damage. He uses damage control. He puts out the fire, probably caused a flood. But he's so low, he can't do anything. Let's get that BB. Let's get that BB. The game's over. It's already over. I mean, it's really obvious it's already over. The enemy team has a base advantage. There's a turret defending C. The friendly battleship is more interested in getting captures. And you know who's good at capturing bases? Destroyers. This guy hasn't gotten any kills. What has he done, right? The North Carolina is way too far south. How are you defending bases? The Baltimore doesn't care. Their team's winning. So what could I have done better? I don't know. I had to go capture C to give our team a chance to win at the start. I was attempting to move towards B, and we had good positioning. We had a way out. I did significant damage to the Otago. I felt like I was protecting myself enough. Then when the turret showed up, I probably showed too much on my side. But honestly, there's no way he could have citadeled me without perfect placement of those 2 shells with the angling that I chose. Now, the second time where I took significant damage, I was perfectly broadside, and I just need to be more comfortable using the majority of my guns rather than all. So we got 3 kills, high caliber. It was just a flesh wound, which was great. A lot of credits, 2,000 base XP, and we almost scored as high as the enemy team. We did around 165,000 points of damage in a loss. Just sickening. I hope you can learn from this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.